Is this thing on? Alright, here goes. Oh my god. I need to shave. Oh, hi there, YouTube. How's it going? It's me, the Hard Hat Gamer here, or you can call me Talon, whichever one you want, whichever one you prefer. What am I doing? This is stupid. I'm making a video about Star Wars. The Fallen Order, the new E3 Star Wars by Respawn is coming out very soon. Too soon, in my opinion. Some things we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be talking about gameplay. We're going to be talking about my reactions to the interview that happened on the E3 stage. We're going to be talking about things that I want to see in the game. Hopefully you guys are going to respond to this video and put some things in the comment section. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Before we actually dive in, I do want to cite my sources. So I got video footage of the gameplay from GameSpot on YouTube. So this video is not monetized. I'm doing this purely as a journalistic experience. I want to express my viewpoints, and I hope that some people will agree with me, disagree with me, offer some new insight into their thoughts of the game, and maybe we can just have like a really cool, chill conversation. So without further ado, let's get into the game.
Point out though, in the Twitch chat, Gwyn96 says that's freaking cool, but he didn't use frickin'. How does it feel to, I think, deliver, right? Like, you guys liked it, right? I think I was looking at the Twitch chat. There's a lot of people who liked it. Like, what does that feel like to finally show this game?
Oh, it's great. I mean, being involved with this team, you know, Stig and his team have done an amazing job. They've put so much of themselves into this game. To be able to be involved in something like this is just, you know, dream come true.
Yeah?
Agreed. Huge shout out to the team. Yeah. Everybody.
Thanks, guys!
Everybody who busted their butts on the demo, but also the whole game. The whole game is coming together right now. So it's an amazing feeling. I'm just so proud to be up here, and I hope that Star Wars fans understand that we're really doing our best to try to honor the brand.
There it is, folks. Honor the brand. This is what I want to just start the video off with. This is what I want to get into, because this is what struck the chord with me the most. Now, before I dive into this, I don't want you to think that I have like super negative feelings about this game or that I dislike this game. The demo was great. I thought the game looked really good. However, with how much we've been berated by bad Star Wars content, I feel like bad is not the correct word. Unfulfilling, lacking Star Wars content pretty much since 2015 when Force Awakens came out, in my opinion, and it really went downhill with The Last Jedi. But anyway, that's a whole other video, right? I want to start with what this gentleman just said, is that I hope Star Wars fans really understand that we're trying to honor the brand. Now, the reason that this line resonated with me is simply because Star Wars is so much more than a brand. It's not... Okay, it is a brand as of late. You walk up to anyone on the street, you ask them about Star Wars, they know what it is. They may even have a Star Wars hat on, right? It is a brand. I understand that. And it's become a national and international phenomenon, which is great. I'm not complaining. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But when it comes to the video games and the movies, you know, something that I hold, and a lot of us hold, very dear and close to our hearts. You know, I grew up watching the original 3 movies that George Lucas, you know, produced, directed, and wrote. I grew up playing the old Star Wars games, so there's a lot of nostalgia factor here for me. And this game looks great. It looks like a new entry into the single-player adventure action Star Wars genre that I have been wanting for so long. However, the reason what he said worries me is because it makes it sound like him and his team don't have the passion behind what they're making. They don't have that, like, we just really wanted to make this game, and we wanted to like it, we wanted you to like it, and we just had so much fun playing this game. Instead, he says, we just hope you understand that we're trying to honor the brand. That word choice is a huge red flag to me, because that means that perhaps, and again, this is all speculation, but EA came up to them and was like, hey, we need y'all to make a Star Wars game. You know, we need ideas. Come on, let's get some shit going. And Respawn was like, okay, yeah, I guess we're making a Star Wars game now. And so they were just kind of throwing this project, and this is what they came up with. That is what those words make me think. Now, the product, other than a few gameplay things that I would like to point out, and I'll point that out later, the product looks great. Great graphics, the animations are great, the combat looks, albeit a little Dark Souls-esque, it looks really fun, it looks challenging, and I'm excited for the game. Now, this point is going to be supported by further points I make later on this video, so let's get dived right into it.
Alright, so another thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about the gameplay. Some things that I really liked, some things I didn't like. So here we go. One of the first things I realized, and this is a negative thing, there is a significant lack of limbs falling to the ground after they were hit with a lightsaber.
Yeah. Better do this by the book. Movement. Units, we've got contact. Troops stationed at cargo pad 119 Gallows. Keep to your posts and stay alert.
Now, I've been a Star Wars fan since I came out of my mom's womb. Alright, I love Star Wars. I love everything about it. I love everything from the drama to the characters to limbs falling off when they're hit with red hot plasma light beams that are swords for some reason. That is a huge immersion factor for me, and I'm sure for a lot of Star Wars fans. Force Unleashed, Jedi Knight Academy games that are well over 10 years old. Force Unleashed, maybe not. You could chop off limbs with lightsabers. You know why? Because it's accurate. Alright? It makes sense that would happen. So this is just it just hurts my soul a little bit. And it goes back into what I was saying about we're trying to do a service to the fans, like that guy was saying, is like, that's a passion thing, man. Like, I want to be able to cut through stormtroopers like a hot knife through butter. Alright? That is just what it needs to feel like. That's just what it needs to be. I am holding a lightsaber. It needs to cut through things. Like, it bugs me in a video game with a lightsaber when you walk next to something and the lightsaber just clips through the environment. It doesn't leave a red mark, or it doesn't, when you strike a tree, it doesn't cut down the tree. And I understand from a programming and development standpoint, these minor details, these quality of life improvements with the lightsaber, because the lightsaber, in my opinion, is should be its own little character. Like, it's its own thing and its own gameplay element, and it should be its own thing separate from the character and the Force user. I understand that these improvements that I'm talking about would take a lot of development time, it would cost a lot of money, and it would probably delay the release date. But to me, Star Wars should always be a passion project. It should always be about making it great, like it was when it first came out. So add in those details. Add in when I turn my lightsaber on and my character's just walking with the lightsaber to his side, and it touches a wall, it leaves a red mark on the wall. It sizzles. It turns the metal into molten liquid, because that's what it would do. The lightsaber is, I don't know how hot it is, but it's freaking hot enough for Qui-Gon Jinn to melt through a double blast door with relative ease. Okay, like, these things are no joke. All right, when I'm in the environment and I'm hacking and slashing at stormtroopers, and there's a tree next to the stormtrooper, and I slice, and it goes to the stormtrooper and the tree. I want that tree to come down. If it's a small tree, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just things that would just make me feel like I'm a Jedi. Like, this lightsaber is as devastating as it's been portrayed in the films, okay? But anyway, that's all I have to say about that part of the lightsaber combat. They said they're not going to be adding that in because, well, they want to be, you know, keep the rating lower. They want to appeal to a wider audience, which I totally get. You know, we don't want to be traumatizing the kids, right? You know, keep it PG. So I get it. Us adults, we can suck it up and just have a cool little PG Star Wars experience. I'm still looking forward to it. The gameplay still looks fun, aside from that small detail. So now let's get into the jumping. So this is something that has actually been declining in Star Wars games over the years. If you remember in Jedi Outcast and Jedi Knight, you could actually upgrade your jump throughout the game. As you became stronger with the Force, you would be able to jump higher, and you'd be able to get to places that you weren't previously able to. And then we get Force Unleashed 2, right? And the jump that you can still do Force jump, you still jump high, but it's not nearly as high or as useful as in the older Lucasfilm games, okay? And then we get Battlefront. Battlefront's its own multiplayer thing. You know, the characters have to be a certain way for balancing issues. So I'm not going to really dive into that. But now we're taken to the Fallen Order, where you're playing as a Jedi Padawan, and your main arsenal is the Force and your lightsaber. And all I'm seeing, and again, this is a very small portion of gameplay, and I get that. And there's a skill tree. You might be able to upgrade it, but all I'm seeing is a little bit of wall running. Shout out to Respawn for having great wall running mechanics, by the way. And a kind of like a really short double jump, like a double jump that I feel like if double jumps were realistic, like any human could do. Like there's no height. Like I want to look at something that's like 20 feet away from me and force jump up to it like we see in the movies, like we did in the old games. Like I don't understand why the jumping is being nerfed, because that is such a crucial part of being a Force user, is being mobile and agile, right? Like another thing is okay, with the combat, I want lightsaber combat that I want to be able to jump off walls and vault over my enemies, and I want to feel like an acrobat with this lightsaber, because that's what's been portrayed to us in the films. That's what would feel right. And I know that games can do it, because you have games like God of War, some of the new Assassin's Creed stuff, that even The Witcher, that show these amazing combat animations and interactions with the environment. Because that's what Jedis do, is they Jedis and Sith, they use the environment to their advantage. Yoda, when he was fighting Count Dooku, he was jumping all over the place, jumping off pillars, jumping off the spaceship. He was keeping him on his toes. And again, I understand that it's very demanding from a developer standpoint, but again, I'm going back to that. Star Wars needs to be a passion project. It needs to be something that is, you put time and care into, and the end product is just this beautiful thing that everyone loves, that you're proud of, right? And the gameplay needs to evolve. It has not evolved the way it should be in the recent years. I love the old games, but playing them now, even though I literally this year recently played through Jedi Knight Academy again, because I love that game, some of the combat doesn't hold up. It's kind of sloppy. Even Force Unleashed, I played through that last year, and it's fun. It's just really arcadey, and it's repetitive, right? I want combat that feels more realistic, that feels more grounded. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Now, that being said, I'm nitpicky. I really am. I'm nitpicky about my Star Wars games because there's just a certain way that I would prefer to make them, and if I can make video games, which I want to someday, those are some things that I might add in, or when I get into it, I could be like, what was I thinking? This is way too hard. I completely understand why they're doing it this way. I was being an idiot. Who knows? But this is just what I'm thinking. This is what I want from a Star Wars game, guys. Like, I'm so passionate about this. So, that was my take on the double jump. I want to be able to jump high. That's what you should get. Make me jump high. High. All right. We're going into the force powers now. So we saw force push. We did see a force pull. He pulled him into the lightsaber, stabbed the dude. That was cool. Force push. That was cool. Pretty standard stuff. Now, this interesting thing is like Kylo Ren type thing, which the story could tie more into that, which would be very interesting. But anyway, the Force Freeze ability, he used it to stop certain environmental obstacles, and he used it to slow time for a laser bolt, and then pulled a stormtrooper in front of the laser bolt and killed him with it. Which, when I saw that, I freaked out, honestly. My friend was right next to me. I was like, oh my God! Really cool. He thought I was weird. I was really happy. That's cool. I hope you can goof around with mechanics of the game more like that, and they just need to keep that going, because being able to slow a laser bolt to the point where you can react fast enough to pull a stormtrooper in front of you, put him in front of the laser bolt, and kill him with it, that is the coolest shit I've seen in a video game since like God of War that came out in 2018. That's cool. I like that a lot. Keep doing stuff like that. That made my little nerd genes happy. All right. So now let's go into the environment. Okay, the environment. So I'm getting some like Tomb Raider. I'm getting some Dark Souls. I'm getting some God of War. You know, there's environmental obstacles that you need to use the Force and your little BD droid to help you with. There's like little like grates everywhere that you can climb on, vines you can climb on. That's very God of War like to me. There's wall running, which that's cool. I like wall running. That's something a Jedi would be able to do. I like that. So the game world is shaping up to be kind of like a Lara Croft God of War-esque style. Like it's that adventure style. There's gonna be environmental obstacles everywhere. Maybe some puzzles that we're gonna be getting into in the game that are really exciting, that you're gonna have to solve and use your brain a little bit, use your force powers to solve some puzzles. I like that idea. That's an action adventure game. That's what should be in a game. It's just gonna be up to them to come up with creative ways to make us feel like we're a Jedi walking through this world using the Force. So I'm excited to see how that works. And yeah, so that's really that was my thought on the reveal trailer. Again, it worried me a little bit when he said that we're trying to honor the brand. I really hope I'm looking too deeply into that. I really hope that that they're as passionate about this as the fans are, and they're going to release a great game. The gameplay demo overall, I would give it like a 8 out of 10. All right. It was good. It was impressive. I got excited for it. There are a few things, like I said, that kind of threw me off a little bit, but overall, I think it's going to be a good game when it comes out in November. I'm excited. I'm going to buy it. Leave down in the comments below what you think of the game. If you think I'm crazy, please like and subscribe. And y'all have a very good day. Hard Hat out.